Okay. All right, good. What would it be? Good morning, kids, on Monday morning. I'll be trying Zoom this time right from my home. I'm doing this on Veterans Day evening, Thursday evening. Hope you had a good Veterans Day. Thank you to all our veterans past and present for keeping us safe. And then Friday tomorrow is your teachers retreat day, so you're off, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then Monday I've got some more medical tests to get done. So that's why we're doing a video here on Monday. So let's share the screen and see what we got. All right, so as we said, Veterans Day, that's today, not when you're listening to this, but when I'm recording it. And then you had Friday off, and here we are. In this video, we're going to discuss factor by grouping, the work and I'm going to teach you factor trinomials, A equals 1, also GCF first. What does all that mean? It's all you need to do. Homework is worksheet number factor trinomials 1. That 1 is because there's also a 2. Two worksheets. So you look for this one. It's on the GC. It's not that file that has the hundreds of worksheets. This one has like 4 worksheets. They're all worded out. Like look for number of factor trinomials. All right, so let's go over the factor by grouping. We had these problems. Unless all of them, we left it some of them. We don't need to hit all of them. We hope not, but don't get some of the ones that you want. Ask in class. All right, let's do some of the odds. Number 1. Remember, factor by grouping, we pair them. This pair and this pair. We always have to pair the first 2, last 2. No, but generally it works. It's all GCF work. Here on it's all GCF. What's the GCF for 12 and 9? I think 3. How about cubed a squared? It's a squared. 12 divided by 4. 3 a's, I took out 2, so there's 1. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. There are 2 a's, I took out 2. Then for these 2 terms, there's no GCF. Okay, let's just leave it as 4a minus 3. And it works because we need to get the 2 parentheses in common. And once you have that, that becomes a GCF zone. So we can pull out a 4a minus 3. If we pull it out or remove it from here, I get 3a squared. Now, what if I remove from here? Well, it's really a 1 there. That's it. That's it. If you want to check, you always check this by foiling. First will be 12a to the 3rd. Outer is plus 4. Inner is minus 9a squared. And the last minus 3. It matches this. A couple of terms in different forms, but it is the same. Okay? That's how we're going to do pretty much all of these. Let's try number 3. These 2 and these 2. I can only take out an n squared here. 3n minus 4. 3n minus 4. That is good news. We need to get this match. If not, we need to try it differently, or it's possibly active. But this one does. The 3n minus 4. Pull that out. You have n squared. Pull it out of here. Plus 3. You win. Let's move down to maybe number 7. Let's see what we got here. For 35 and 5, you can take out a 5 and an x, leaving you with 7y minus 1. Here for 56 and 8, I can take out an 8. And I'd have negative 7y plus 1. I did that purposely to show what happens when we don't get a match. 7y minus 1 does not match negative 7y. Kind of close. The signs are opposite. But what that generally means is we should have factored out a negative. Because if I factor out a negative 8, negative 56 divided by negative 8 is positive 7y. Positive 8 divided by negative 8 is negative 1. And now we got a match. Pull out 7y minus 1, 5x minus 8. You got it. Let's go on to the next page. How about number 11? I'll make this bigger. Helps me too. Where'd 11 go? There it is. Where'd 11 go? All right. Looks very doable. You can take out a 10x 4y plus 3. Now, when you see minus, minus, the last two terms are both negative. That's almost a guarantee you're going to factor out a negative. The last two are negative, negative. Like there, that one, same. Take out a negative 20. Negative 100 divided by negative 25 is positive 4y. Negative 75 divided by negative 25 is positive 3. That's exactly what we wanted. So factoring out the negative worked for us. There you go. How's that? Just for, well, I want to find one where, what if we don't choose the first two and the last two? Does that make a difference? We'll start with first to last. See what happens here. Well, a GCF for 140 and 60, no 10 goes in. How about 20? 20? 20A? Leaving me with 7B minus 3A. That's solid. Now, how about 168 and 72? Might not be as obvious. So what if we do factor tree? 168, I can say, is 2 times 84, which is 2 times 42, which is 2 times 21, which is 3 times 7. So there's our prime factors there. 72, 2 times 36, which is 2 times 18, which is 2 times 9, which is 3 times 3. There's our prime factors there. So what do they have in common? We have some twos in common. How many? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. 3 twos in common. So 2, 2, 2. How many threes in common? 1 3 in common. And this one's got a 7, this one's got an extra 3. I think we're done with this. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 is 24. So our GCF is in fact 24. So we take out a, let's try positive 24. Can't take out any A's or B's. 168 divided by 24 is in fact 7. B. 72 divided by 24. That worked. Pull out 7B minus 3A. And we have 20A. Okay. We got it. How about last one? Last one here. This one I'll try pairing first two and then pairing a different combo. Let's see what happens. Pair the first two. 16 and 8, I can take out an 8. I can take out an X. And that's it, right? 16 divided by 8 is 2. Still have 1X and a C. You'll have a 1, Y, D. Here we have the two negatives in a row. I'll factor out a negative 8. And I have 2 XD plus YC. Well, that's not a match at all, is it? Could I have factored it differently? Let me just check. Does that look right? I think we did it right. Okay, but these are not the same at all, so it didn't work. Well, what if we paired them differently? What if we paired the two 16s together and the two 8s together? The two 16s, I can take out a 16x squared. I'd be left with C minus D. 8, I could take out an 8xy, and I got B minus C. Oh my. I thought we had it. We take out 8xy, have d minus c. This is not a match. But what's the difference between c minus d and d minus c? What's the difference between 8 minus 5 and 5 minus 8, right? Same two numbers, but in reverse order. That's 3, that's -3. They are numerically the same, but they have the different sign. So what if I did this? What if I had factored out a -8, then -16, well, where am I? If I took out a -8xy, this divided by -8 is negative, and this divided by -8 is positive c. Let's look at that. I have c minus d, I have negative d plus c. Those are in fact the same. Both the negative d and both positive c. So two wild things happen here. For the first time, we couldn't group the first two. I had to group 1, 3, and 2, 4. And then factoring out an 8xy didn't work for us. They had to go change to negative. Now that I got that, c minus d, 16x squared minus 8xy, because again, c minus d and c minus d minus. All right, if you have questions on any others about that in class. So let's see what else we got. So that's that topic. Let's pick up on how are we doing so far? This is my home. This is kind of a library-ish. We have pictures. Is Ted Williams, a couple of Ted Williams autograph balls, and Bobby Orr autograph picture in baseball from the great Bobby Orr. All right, what else we got? I think it's time. You got to share the screen. Hang on. I can show you some cartoons here, but I'm missing the screen share thing. Let's try it now. All right, here we go. Time for some. Boy, my computer's locked here. Oh boy. Bear with me. We'll get this. Okay, got it, got it, got it, got it. Share screen, got it. Share. Okay, so hopefully seeing a cartoon here. All right, you can tell me which one you like. Start with cartoon number 1. This pilot owns Halloween. Self-explanatory. Number 2, natural sign. Caution, water on road during rain. Okay. Number 3. Get this one? Pound, pound, clap. You know, that is a Wii console. Will Smith, Wii console. Will Smith, The Rock, finger pointing at you. Pound, pound, clap. Pound, pound, clap. We will. Very clever. All right, that one. Then you got that one. All right, here. Just got the best hearing aid ever made. Really? What kind is it? 1230. See, the joke is, he said, what kind is it? He thought he said, what time is it? So it really wasn't a good hearing aid because he couldn't hear that clearly. Got that one? That's it. So you can vote. You like, what time is it? Like Psychic. We will rock you. Water and Rome, water is wet and blind. Okay, let me know which ones you like on. All right, let's go back to the lesson. And stop share and share. All right, so your lesson is going to be factoring trinomials. So far what we've done is we have factored by GC. We factored by difference of squares. I'm going to move number 4 to be factored by grouping. And then number 3 is going to be this trinomial factor. The reason I wrote in that order is we factor out a GCF. We're factoring out a monomial. You factor out 3x. What you factor out is a monomial. So monomial goes with 1. Difference of squares is always a binomial. So step 2 or second one is binomials. I'm going to show you this. The third type of factoring goes with trinomials. And as we know, factored by grouping is always 4 terms. Kind of related. GCF, factor out 1 term. Squares is 2 terms. Binomial is 3 terms. Factored by grouping, 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so trinomials take the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are coefficients. So today we're only going to look at ones where this a value is 1. So some examples: squared plus 5x plus 6, x squared minus 24, x squared plus x minus 7. Each case is 1. If a is not 1, we'll talk about that later. So remember, factoring is reverse of multiplying. Down here, this multiplying this FL, we get x squared minus 9. Factoring by DOS gives us that. So just like that, factoring is the reverse of multiplying. Factoring trinomials is going to be the reverse of multiplying. Take these 2 binomials, 3 times x plus 2, and FOIL it. If I FOIL that, first is x squared, outer is plus 2x, there is plus 3x, and last is plus 6. Collect like terms, x squared, 5x plus 6. So I think you're good at that. FOILing is your specialty. A binomial times a binomial. FOIL, then collect like terms. Let's do the reverse. Let's start with x squared plus 5x plus 6. X squared plus 5x and factor it. So x plus 3 times x plus 2 FOILs to give us this. Let's start with this and factor it that. So if we can FOIL this and get that trinomial, we can start with a trinomial and factor it to this. So that's the reverse thing we talked about. How does it work? When you're given a trinomial like this, and they say factor it into 2 sets of parentheses, into 2 binomials. Here's what you do. You look at this last number, 6, and say, I need 2 numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 5. 2 numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 5. You lose the last term and the middle term. Well, what numbers multiply to 6? 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Which combo adds to 5? 2 and 3. So we get x plus 2, x plus 3. That's it. That's it. Once you find the right combo, it's a positive 2 and a positive 3. So x plus 2, x plus 3. And if we FOIL it, we get that. Do some more. X squared plus 11x plus 3. Oh, that's a multiplier or adder. The 2 numbers that multiply to 30 add to 11. I know you know it's 6 times 5, but let's do a process. Multiplying to 30 could be 1 times 30, 2 times 15. See, I'm going up the ladder here. 3 times 10, 4 times 1, 5 times 6. Well, 6 times 5, that's a repeat. So those are only possibilities. Which of those adds to 11? 5 and 6. So x plus 5 plus 6. Here you go. What if I wrote x plus 6, x plus 5? Same thing. Same. Next one. Going to multiply multiply to 15 and add to -8. Signs definitely make a difference. Let's think about this. Multiply to 15, add to -8. Well, how about 1 times 15, 3 times 5? Well, but 3 and 5 don't add up to -8, but add up to +8. So actually, -3, -5, right? They multiply to a +15 and add to a -8. When you see this, when you see multiplied to a +15, think about that. The only way to multiply two numbers and get a positive is a plus times a plus or a minus times a minus. But now they've got to add to a negative. Well, two positives can't add to a negative, so it's got to be minus minus. So it's either -1, -15, or -3, -5. In this case, it's -3, -5. All right. How about this one? I'm going to pause. Well, actually, maybe you should. Will that work? Can you pause and Zoom? Pause it and do this one, then come back. What you got? All right, we're back. Multiply to 20, add to -9. Once again, if we're going to multiply to a positive, it's going to be plus times plus or minus times minus. But if we're going to add to a negative, it's going to be negative times 1. So -1 times -20, -2 times -10, -4 times negative. And that, of course, is 1. X minus 4 minus 5. It's good. It's good. Now we get the next one, it's a little bit different. Now we're going to multiply to a -10 and add to a +3. Let's think about that. Two numbers multiplied to a negative, it's going to be one positive, one negative. Two numbers multiplied to a negative, one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. So it could be +1 and negative. We also got to consider -1 and +10. You know why? Because these two add up to -9. These two add up to +9. Makes a difference. Now go to +2, -2, +5. Which of those adds to +3? The 1. X minus 2. I think you're getting the hang of it. Why don't you try this one? You can pause it and do that one yourself. All right, we're back. We'll multiply to -3, add to -2. Multiplying to a negative, going to be a positive and a negative. So it could be +1 and -63. -1, +63. I know you know it's going to be the 7 and 9 combination. Just showing you how to go through it. 2 doesn't go in, 3 does. 3 and -21, -3 and +21. 4 doesn't go in, 5, 6, 7 and -9, -7, +9. That one adds up to -2, x plus 7, x minus 9. You should never get this wrong because you can check it, FOIL it. X squared minus 9x, 7x minus 63 squared. That adds up to -2x minus 63. By the way, look, that -9 and +7 show up right there. Okay. So you say, what if A is not 1? And it's ax squared. Everyone we've done so far, that A has been 1. What if it's not? Well, here's the example. Remember, we look for GCF first. Next, we ask, is it a binomial? Squares. Then we go to our trinomial factor. So GCF first. Yeah, there's a GCF here, 3. Factor it out. And then this will factor, multiply to 12, add to 7, 3 and 4, x plus 3, x plus 4. And that 3 out front is part of the original. So GCF first, not going to be a difference of squares, then go to trinomial. So why don't you try that one? Find a GCF. So you found a GCF of 2x, leaving it's x squared minus 5x minus 24. Nice trinomial, lead coefficient is 1. We can do that. Multiplies to -24, adds to -5. You go through -8, +3. So this is x minus 8, x plus 3, and yes, the 2x has to be part of your. One more try, go ahead. GCF first. And now we multiply to 9, add to -8, multiplies to a positive, adds to a negative, negative. So -1, -8 is. So keep the 5, x minus 1, x minus 8. Now, what if 8 is not equal 1 and there's no GCF? Here's an example. What if 8 is equal 1? Doesn't. And there is no GCF, there's not. Well, that is what comes next. So you have to be patient and wait for our next one. All right, so here's what your homework looks like. I think we're doing all 18. You notice the lead coefficient 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And if you're looking at any of these, look at number 4, you're going to multiply to 18, add up to 9. You go through and you get 3 and 6. R plus 3, R plus 6. So you got it. You got this. All the way through to 12. And then you get to 13 and 18. I'm going to tell you what the GCF. So number 14, you pull out a GCF 2, p squared plus 7p plus 12. And then multiplies to 12, adds to 7, 3, and 4, and you're good. Okay, kids? So there we go. I think that's our lesson. We got this worksheet called, keep going, worksheet called Factor Trinomials 1, the whole thing. Okay, and I'll see you in class next time. Great, have a great day. I guess I will see you on your tomorrow. Bye-bye.